Most people believe freedom comes from effort. Work harder, stay disciplined, be consistent long enough, and eventually you'll be free. That belief sounds responsible, it sounds mature, it sounds like something a functional system would reward. It doesn't. Effort alone does not create freedom, it creates endurance. And endurance is not the same thing as escape. The system is perfectly comfortable with hard workers. It depends on them. Hard workers show up on time. Hard workers stay late. Hard workers take pride in pushing through exhaustion. Hard workers keep the machine stable. That's why effort is praised so loudly. But notice what's rarely celebrated: ownership, leverage, asymmetry. Those things create exits. Effort keeps you inside the structure. Leverage changes the structure. That's the difference. The reason most people feel stuck isn't because they're lazy, it's because they're applying effort to the wrong layer of the game. They're pushing harder inside a system designed to absorb effort without changing outcomes. That's containment disguised as productivity. Leverage is different. Leverage is when the same unit of effort produces outsized results, when time stops being the bottleneck, when progress compounds instead of resetting every morning. The system teaches people to fear leverage because leverage creates independence, and independence breaks predictability. Predictable people are manageable, independent people are not. That's why the safe advice always sounds the same. Be patient, climb the ladder, pay your dues. Don't rush it. Those phrases sound wise, but they're optimized for stability, not freedom. Leverage looks reckless to people trapped inside linear thinking. Linear thinking says work more hours, earn slightly more money, upgrade comfort slowly, repeat. Leverage thinking says change the ratio, change how effort converts into output. That's why leverage feels uncomfortable at first. There's no guaranteed paycheck, no immediate validation, no clear roadmap handed to you. You have to design it. And most people were never taught how to design systems. They were taught how to operate inside them. School trains compliance, not leverage. Jobs train reliability, not ownership. Culture trains consumption, not construction. So when someone starts building leverage, it feels wrong. Not morally wrong, structurally wrong. It violates the rules you were trained to follow. Rules like work comes before reward. Stability comes before freedom. Security comes from obedience. Leverage flips that. Leverage says build once, benefit repeatedly. Design assets, not just outputs. Detach income from hours. And the moment income detaches from hours, containment weakens. That's why leverage frees people faster than hard work ever could. Hard work scales linearly. Leverage scales exponentially. You can double effort and maybe double output, but you can build leverage once and multiply output indefinitely. That's not theory. That's how every escape actually happens. No one works their way out of containment by pushing harder inside it. They work their way out by stepping sideways. Sideways moves confuse the system. Vertical moves feed it. The system expects you to go up slowly. It doesn't expect you to build leverage quietly. That's why leverage works. It operates in blind spots like digital assets, automation, audience ownership, skills that scale without supervision. None of those show immediate results, which is exactly why most people abandon them early. The system trains impatience, scroll culture, instant feedback, immediate gratification. Leverage requires delayed payoff. That alone filters out most people, because delayed payoff feels like failure to someone trained on instant rewards. That's another containment mechanism. If you can't tolerate delayed results, you'll never build leverage. You'll default back to effort. Effort feels productive. Leverage feels uncertain. But uncertainty is where exits live. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail at leverage because it doesn't work. They fail because they try to measure leverage with effort metrics. They ask, how many hours did I work? How busy was I? How exhausted am I? Those metrics are irrelevant once leverage is involved. Leverage asks different questions. Did this compound? Can this run without me? Does this grow while I sleep? Does this reduce dependency? If the answer is yes, you're moving toward freedom. If not, you're just busy. The system loves busy people. Busy people don't redesign, they cope. Leverage builders redesign quietly. They don't announce every move. They don't seek permission. They don't wait for clarity before starting. They build while uncertain. They adjust while moving. They tolerate imperfect execution. That tolerance is rare. Most people wait until they feel ready. Ready never comes. Readiness is a myth sold to keep people stationary. Leverage doesn't require confidence, it requires commitment. Commitment to building something that doesn't pay immediately. Commitment to learning while producing. Commitment to staying consistent without external applause. That's why leverage feels lonely at first. There's no boss watching, no coworkers validating effort, no immediate proof you're doing the right thing, just silence. That silence scares people back into effort-based systems. Effort gives feedback. Leverage gives space. Space is uncomfortable if you're used to being told what to do, but that space is exactly where freedom forms. Here's the shift that matters. You stop asking, how hard can I work? And you start asking, what can I build that works without me? That question changes everything. It changes how you use time. It changes what you say no to. It changes what you tolerate. You become less impressed by grind, less addicted to urgency, less reactive to noise. You become selective. Selectivity is power. The system doesn't collapse when you build leverage. It just loses influence. It stops setting your pace, stops defining your value, stops dictating your energy. You're no longer contained by effort loops. You're operating on a different layer, and that's why leverage feels unfair to people still trapped in linear systems. They see the result without seeing the structure. They assume luck, they assume shortcuts. They never see the months of quiet building, the uncertainty, the lack of validation. Leverage looks fast from the outside. It's slow and invisible on the inside, until it isn't. Then the gap appears, then the distance grows, then freedom becomes noticeable, not because you worked harder, but because you stopped relying on effort as the primary engine. That's the real transition from effort to leverage, from reaction to design, from containment to control. If video 29 showed you the cage, video 30 shows you the exit velocity. And the people who escape aren't special, they just stop mistaking effort for progress.